Tauruses, welcome into a random next 48-hour tarot reading for you. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing out there. But I did get a random message that I will share with you in a hot second. But we're beginning your next 48-hour reading with Milk and Honey and the Fates card. I love this for us because it feels like in the next 2 days you're standing out in the crowd as a star, or a star in the making for some. Let's be real, okay? There's still work to be done and progress to be made moving forward in regards to that. But there's abundance in the next 48 because of your hard work, because of your unique nature, and because I feel you are one talented individual. For some of which ones of the reading, you're meant to be famous, all right? And this could be online, it could be otherwise, you name it. But I feel like there's starlight quality that you're giving off, and you're really earning your abundance in the next 48. I even feel like past efforts are paying off, but there's great happiness to stem temporarily from this milk and honey energy, from feeling like this fated star, somebody who's special and talented once again. But I also, to be completely real with you, got a message right before beginning your reading of everything seems to feel off right now. Now this may be obviously more often for some than others, but it feels like at least that is going to be felt and coming through at certain random points. I feel like you're thinking about how certain people really F up the energy, okay? Now this could be who you're living with, it could be neighbors, right? It could be work, who's at work, you know, even if it's, say, customers, clientele. It could be in a storefront, when you're out and about. It just feels like people need to fix their energy while you're really trying to improve and protect your own, you know? And this goes for even those who aren't to be labeled or consider themselves an empath, you know, which means you pick up on other people's energy. But it just feels like people really need to work on it. Anyways, as my battery starts to go low, the number 2 is significant for you. You're going to be gaining a leg up in the next 48, some sort of advancement, and that in and of itself will make you happy. You as well will be pushed to think back to a strategy of yours that really helps you. Okay, my left shoulder is itching. You'll be thinking back to a strategy of importance that you once upon a time utilized, even if you didn't purposely mean to, and it made you happy, okay? These strategies need to be utilized and remembered and utilized. The 5 of Wands, because someone is creating chaotic energy, all right? This could be a spirit, it could be, you know, someone in person, but it does feel like regardless, they're reminding you that when you're fated for the success that you're meant to, and you're fated to be in the spotlight even for a lot, it really does at times come with certain levels of bad energy. You know, for example, if you choose to be an online influencer and you want to blow up and you end up having millions of followers on different accounts, they're reminding me of one specific where people can be quite brutal. They're typically going to be naysayers, bad energy, you know, rude people. I'm not saying that would be the majority of which it could be, but it's something like that, you know. If you're meant to be a celebrity, you know, for a random example, obviously they deal with a lot of like paparazzi and random crazy people, you know. And so sometimes the good comes with some of the bad, or just the not so ideal. But again, they're drawing me to the fact that there are stars around this girl here, but she's holding one that's quite big and glowing. Okay, you're a bigger star than others is what I'm getting. But it's not about comparing. The 3 of Pentacles really communicates clearly that people are paying close attention to you. You're feeling very much noticed. It honestly feels like there's certain people who need to realign their focus because they're thinking about focusing upon you way too often. I'm hearing get a life, but I'm also finding that this person is maybe a stress basket, or just jealous maybe, or maybe they're just a hater, okay? Or just, I feel like somebody in your midst, even if it's more so you're energetically connected to them at a distance, bad energy, okay? They feel like a pessimist, or just maybe a mean person. Cold-hearted is what I'm hearing. Just give the messages as they flow. The 4 of Swords, because Taurus, in the next 48 hours, you will be reminded the protection that you're receiving more than ever at this point along your path when it comes to spirit, the spiritual realm, it's strong, okay? You are very, very much in alignment with the spiritual realm to the point of extreme protection. But we're moving on to the Page of Wands. There's something about you gaining a positive outcome of some sort, all right? This could be gaining a new situation. It could be news about how something's going to continue. but regardless, it feels like there is passionate, good news. Or it could just be very simple. You've got this opportunity, or this person has left the situation, the building, permanently. There's just something about you gaining the news that you need, or more so want, or both. But you may as well be a source of positive information and news for other people. So it definitely could be a very communicating, how am I going to put this? It just might be a 2-day period and surrounding it where there's a lot of speaking, okay? You and other people. But you may as well see random faces in the next 48 you're getting. You can see that face there. They're hidden all throughout this Wisdom Oracle deck. Also, attraction is a part of this time period. You are needing to enjoy yourself a bit more, okay? That seems to be a little bit easier said than done at this time. And they're wanting you to as well chase your dreams, or chase a dream of yours maybe that you once gave up on or stopped chasing. Or maybe just stop believing in. The Temperance card, because I really feel like, honestly, there's certain factors about this period where you need to dig for that inner patience. Take a deep breath. Sorry, there's a kid chasing a goose right here. And it feels like whatever's testing your patience, somebody needs to give it a rest, okay? Or the energy just needs to be fixed, or it just feels like maybe you just need to realign your focus, okay? But it does feel like your patience is going to pay off, and you will be receiving, again, this milk and honey energy, this abundance. I mean, you don't get both of these cards in your reading if it isn't meant to be a very rewarding period. I just heard drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know why I just heard that. But the Knight of Cups, because you're being noticed for your caring energy. You're being noticed for somebody who is a creative soul, who easily connects with others, and at times draws in the wrong kind of energy. You know, think back to certain people that you attracted in, or you ended up choosing to associate with, you know, a toxic ex, or bad friends that didn't have your back, or even in regards to acquaintances, or, you know, living situation. I mean, guilty. It just feels like Spirit's saying you don't always seem to end up associating with the right type of people. But in the next 48, I do feel there is a sense of what could be considered coincidences, where it's just very spiritually connected and, yeah, initiated sort of moments, all right? These aren't coincidences. But the Eight of Cups says you have to do what's right for you. You have to do what's right for you, Taurus, because it feels like it's like you at times in the past have put people in other aspects of your life before you. You know what I mean? Above you on the priority list. But what is being said very clearly now from Spirit is, Taurus, you need to be number one on your list. You need to be the first and foremost, maybe even the only thing to consider, okay? You can't think about how's that job going to handle it, or will they find somebody else if I end up taking this new opportunity, or looking for a new job. You gotta do what's right for you. They'll find someone else. They'll figure it out. Same goes for where you're living, or your relationship, or whatever ends up being. You know what I mean? You have to prioritize, Taurus. And I honestly feel like they're saying, when you give up, wow, there's bugs like all over me. When you give up what doesn't feel right for you, or doesn't serve you, or is just toxic, then you absolutely start to bring in more of what is in alignment, more of what's healthy, right for you, and abundant otherwise. I also want to say that you're needing to remember that you'll never stay somewhere too long, if that makes sense. You may think you are going to, or have, but the timing of things feels quite on point for you, and very spiritually protected all the meanwhile. But it just feels like somebody's in a mood. Somebody's in a mood. I also feel like you're saying to yourself and maybe other people, it's not that hard to be nice. It's really not that hard to be a kind soul. Reminding me of the new place I just moved into, and my roommate slash landlord, who I'm leaving behind so quickly, is so rude. He's ends up being just a very rude individual, and I can't have that in my life, you know what I mean? But to continue, it feels like your health as well, as I got a little bit of the sniffles there. They're saying your health is your wealth. Please prioritize that as well. You know, you can feel, I'm sensing you can feel when you're about to or starting to get sick, or when something's altering your health negatively. So just do what you got to do. Do what you know works best. You're saying, again, that's one of the many ways where you have to prioritize yourself. And everything else will fall into place and work itself out. You may be thinking about a tower moment for the future and what you still have yet to achieve or receive or earn to support that. But also, I feel like music will be your best friend in the next 48 as the wind does pick up. I do want to get ready to wrap up your reading by saying this will be a very abundant period for you, but it's not a perfect time, to say the very least, while you're thinking about change for the future and even change from the past. As Spirit is saying, Taurus, your life is currently in a state that is temporary. You need to remember this, okay? While, again, you, my friend, have this milk and honey and Six of Pentacles energy, as again, the overall main message is this is meant to be a very abundant next 48, all right? So those are your messages, Taurus. I hope they were truly helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.